Alright. It's time to try again. We have failed yet again. I remain upset. The book has a rose, a pistol, and a half-naked dame on its cover. On the cover stands a very muscular man surrounded by flames. The book's title is called Man from Hemdal and the Wildfire. What else? This book is about pate, okay. This book, you don't really understand what it's about, nor does it seem important. A book about culture. It promotes freedom and roaming upstream. A book about the future. The government reads your mind using radio technology. Yeah, you know, that's just how it is. This coin-operated viewer has been banged up, inoperable. The things I've seen and said. The ad reads, broken window? Tib has windows? Good for Tibbs. It's a fucking bag. You hear the distant squall of seabirds. They kind of sound right fucking here, to be honest with you. Alright, it's time to make some fucking money. Look at that. 10 whole cents. Hobo Cop's gonna make some fucking money. A splatter of bullet holes lines the walls. The sight of bullet holes stirs something in you, making you forget the lieutenant's surname. Kim, look! Bullet holes! Where? He looks around. Point to the chips in the walls. Someone has been shot! We're cops! We should solve it. There? He looks at the wall. Those are old. What do you mean, old? These bullets were fired during the Revolution, over half a century ago. They do not warrant investigation. Okay, what can you tell me about the Revolution? Not much. I don't have a fresh perspective on it. Shall we go? Alright, good talk, team. What's over here? $1.69. Nice. Hold on, let's go talk to these two boys down here.
Have you no shame? Whining about your back every time you bring out the measuring tape?
Honey, you're a man with a fork in a world of soup. Please, let's just try to enjoy the game, alright?
A man with a fork in a world of soup.
I am trying to, but you keep breaking my concentration. You're old, I can see that. We're both old. Now, stop grabbing your ass like it's a girl.
These manly men are playing balls. This is a ball game. Grab a ball and play it. Don't ask questions. Shoot first, ask questions never. Shouldn't I ask what game it is first? No, you got this. There's the ball. You're the game. I mean, let's fucking go. On the case, we're gonna ace it. Now, you are immediately surprised by the ball's lack of weight. No matter, you'll make it work. Feel the ball. The cold metal ball is surprisingly smooth against your neck. It has a pattern on it, probably a sponsored ball. Yours would only be covered with bumps and a learning and scars of victory. Already, your muscles are adjusting to the weight, the nervous system calibrating until you and the ball have merged into a single entity. The man ball is ready. Take in the surroundings. A chilly breeze ruffles your hair, and as you stand there, feet firmly planted, all sounds, smells, even the wind, everything fades until the only thing left is the union of man and ball. Who am I? An embodiment of pure emotion, a finely tuned locomotor running at maximum efficiency. The inertia can be contained no more than a bullet leaving a go. A gun. Let go. Be the bullet. You definitely do not play the game like that. My man rolled it at the ground. Murder! Murder! The old soldier yells in outrage. Bordel de murder. A whorehouse of shit? It wasn't whorehouse of shit. The shot was at least 23 meters, probably 24 and then some. Nothing to be embarrassed about. What the hell is your problem? Not a weak triceps, that's for sure. I don't care if you're a cop. You do not just ruin someone's game. It's so goddamn disrespectful. I'm sensing anger, and I don't understand why. You vandalized our game, son. He tries to calm himself. We can't play petanque with 5 bullies. P-tank? Yes, P-tank. The man says, raising his voice again. You ruined our P-tank game. We want our bull back. Take it easy, Rene. The jolly man tries to defuse the situation. This is just a misunderstanding, isn't it, officer? No harm done. Of course there's harm done, you orange slug. He heel of his cavalry boot slams into the ground. You owe us a goddamn bull. Okay, I will try to fix this. Good, he nods. Mistakes are forgiven when men at least try to right their wrongs. I believe you will try. Now, why did you approach us? Yes, why did you come here? It's unlikely they know anything about the murder. You never know. He might know something. This is a good vantage point. Do you know anything about the hangman? Unfortunately, I don't, he shrugs. Unlike most of the locals, I have no qualms about assisting local law enforcement. But this affair has passed me by completely. And most of the locals? In Martinez, the union is the law, so you can you really blame them? But you don't have a problem with cops? Cop is a pejorative term. I don't have a problem with policemen. On the contrary, I admire the effort to bring order to our streets. He doesn't know about the crime. Your time is better spent discussing politics. What about police women? I'm confident they are indispensable in regards to all paperwork and other administrative duties. There are no duties RCM women couldn't carry out. But you must agree that nature, in her infinite wisdom, has made men more fit to perform certain, more challenging tasks, don't you, officer? No, I don't think there's any evolutionary inequality at play here. Really, officer? Match an average woman against an average man in dark alley and see who comes out on top. Gender equality is a very noble, very modern idea, but in real life primal roles prevail. But I do not wish to discuss this matter further. You seem to be playing in a crater. Yes, the man nods. The terrain here provides an interesting variety to a familiar game. Does it have anything to do with the bullet holes I've been seeing around? Yes, he replies with a reluctant nod. It was hit by heavy artillery fire. Okay, it's a crater left by artillery fire. But why? Why what? Why was heavy artillery used? Because that's what happens when communards hijack your country, execute your supreme leadership, and turn your capital into a slaughterhouse. You use heavy ordnance to clean up your home. Who are the communards again? Commies, communists, socialists, anarchists, call them what you like. They just choose the name to feel special. The cabineer frowns. Senseless sentimentality. Did you use artillery fire against them? Sadly, no. It was the foreigners who brought them to their knees. We fought valiantly, too valiantly. So valiantly we got licked, he adds, squeezing a bowl in his fists. Should have fought dirty, like they did with their suicide sex cult propaganda. And mad anarchist women strapped to shrapnel bombs. What the fuck? We didn't, though. We lacked caliber. God bless him. But the suzerain's cannons simply weren't big enough. It was probably a bit more complicated than that. Why shell them here in Martinez? Because this place is the damn beachhead, he says, pointing to the bay. Had to soften the commies up first. The beachhead? Yes, he nods, inspecting you with some disdain. the military-coordinated amphibious landing to take back Revachol. Martinez was used as one of the 3 footholds in Ravachol during the Operation Deathblow in '08. The other 2 are off in Stella Maris and the Delta. He points to the northeast. Deathblow. Sounds grim. The hiss here is Blood Ground, where Coalition boots first made landfall and cleaned those rabid dogs out, most likely, he says, looking down at the soil. We're playing P-Tank on their mangled corpses. Blood Ground, the other one shakes his head. You've got old Rene going there, like he isn't angry enough already. Hold on, the Coalition? Mm-hmm, he grunts. Don't get me wrong, officer, I hate those foreign dogs. But the enemy of my enemy and all that, they're the lesser evil. Is that why everything is bombed out? Damn right, son, they laid the fire of hell on this city before they stormed in, and it worked, too. There's a strange gleam in his eyes. The rest of the city got cleaned up at Martinez. They keep as a monument. A dark shadow runs across his face. And now, the Union Socialists are practically running the place. Well, it's your own damn fault, the jolly man marks. You, we, the Coalition, Ravachol, whoever you want to blame, never finished the job. Officially, the party never surrendered. Of course they still hold influence. You don't even begin to truly understand the players on the table, let alone the specific circumstances surrounding the... What do you think? Thinking men have opinions on these things. Present one. Foreign powers cleaned up our mess, and now they rule us. I'm sorry it had to be them. He looks down at his boots. After 8 years of fighting those hyenas, boiling cats for food, and drinking piss in the mountains, I would have preferred if the Right Honorable King Guillaume returned to Revachol, or even if that clown Fristle had risen from the grave and led us. Sadly, that was not the case. Instead, all this is just holy and beautiful in the world was ripped away, and now it's neon signs with toothpaste ads everywhere, foreign influence peddling garbage, and stupid music on the radio. This is just what the commies wanted. This was their plan. I don't know that that's true. This is what they wanted to replace the rule of the suzerain with. How does Felipe III factor into this? Point to the monument. He doesn't, the veteran replies sharply. That was 100 years ago. Ain't got nothing to do with that. Anything. Who was Fristle? Damn Fristle. He was the king we couldn't protect. The Carabineers failed him. And the crown, the old veteran falls silent and massages his chest. He died in the hands of the hoi polloi in a very public execution. He slouches as he says that. It makes him smaller, admitting they left the king to the mob. You mentioned Guillaume. A true king in both blood and mind, led Revachol before Fissel. He would have been better, but the damn commies drove him into exile. Some manner of self-deceit is present in his thinking. Sounds like this Guillaume abandoned him, and he doesn't want to admit it. What exactly is a suzerain? The suzerain is the king. Has everyone forgotten already? He then slowly nods and says to himself, They've forgotten already. It's no use talking to you. You were still in Daddy's balls when it happened, when we took our last stand against the filth and rode the cavalry straight into gunfire. Fuck it, feels good. Let's try. Didn't work out. All you observe is a veteran refusing to let go of the past in his old uniform. This is not uncommon. He catches your glance and nods. This is the uniform of the Royal Cavaliers in service of Frizzle I, Guillaume, Le Lion, and valiant King Felipe V before him. Don't you mean Fristle the Fun? You do not speak his name, Craven. Although he was a clown, he adds, turns back to you. But he was our clown, ours to ridicule and to mourn. There's something you missed. You will get to it, don't worry. I saw the statue of Felipe III near the roundabout. Ah, yes, King Felipe III on his steed. Ah, Discord. There we go. A reminder of what Revachol once was. Oh, absolutely. He smiles as if reliving a pleasant memory. at the mercy of a cocaine-snorting tyrant who emptied the treasury as so he could sleep on a bed of gold? A superpower feared and respected, a testament to what this country can be under the leadership of a true king, someone who knows how to rule. How should a true king rule? Decisively, without fear of offending the sensibilities of the frail and weak-minded among his subjects. This is something the insurgents never understood. Seems to me a leader should take care of his people before himself. A nation is only as strong as its leader. That's why it was such madness to try to... Don't get started on that again. What happened happened. There's some weariness in his voice now. He's heard this rant many times before. The cabineer doesn't reply, but his entire entire being communicates unbreakable resolve. What was that about cocaine? Oh, old Felipe was a big fan of the purple nose candy the nobility loved so much. A cocaine connoisseur of sorts, he chuckles. His egocentricity is borderline legendary. You can't even take responsibility for yourself. How could you fathom the responsibility weighing on the shoulders of a ruler? He asks, obviously annoyed. This is why the Philippine kings used cocaine, for clarity of vision to aid in their work. Regnum cocaneum, Revachol's finest years. He seems to grow taller, brimming with pride about the past. Of course, the lieutenant marks dryly, clarity of vision, awareness. Felipe III was even brought into the world with the help of cocaine. The court medic administered a dose to his mother when she was in labor, and it is well known that with the help of cocaine, only the purest, of course, he was able to connect with higher realms. Higher realms? Of course, it all makes sense. He's just making excuses for the king's habits, isn't he? What was that about? Higher realms? Sounds interesting. It's really not. He turns to Renee. Please do spare us the cocaine fairy tales. Yes, indeed. We are not here to investigate the drug trade of centuries past. Let's talk about something else. Thank you for your time. Well, that was enlightening. Now we've got to find a bowl. Unbelievable. Alright, it started snowing pretty heavy suddenly. Enormous bowls worthy of real men. A real man. The damage looks like it could have been caused by an earthquake. Some great tectonic cracks. Yeah, it was the fucking bombs. We know. Alright, what's going on over here, kid?
Hello, sir. Step right in. The store is open.
You are significantly quieter than everybody else. I am the law, by the way. Good.
Are you interested in a new and exciting book?
What kind of store is
It's a
this?
bookstore, sir. We sell books, postcards, and some board games. It's called Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
Whoa. Hold your horses, little girl. What is a book?
That is a book. They have stories inside them. It's like someone told you a story in a really long letter.
What's a postcard?
A postcard is a small cardboard picture. You can write a few words on the other side and send it to your friend or beloved.
I'm really impressed that she could just pull these answers out, to be honest with you. Because if someone came up to me and went, I am the law, and then went, what's a book? I wouldn't know what to say, to be honest. What's a board
Board
game?
games are like little games on a table, made to pass the time. There are several different ones, but sailors here mostly buy cards.
Interesting, thanks.
My pleasure. Anything else you'd like to know?
Is it okay if I ask you some questions?
Okay, sir. I'll try to answer any questions you have. I hope they're about books.
What is your name? My name is Annette, sir. My mom, her name is Plicent? She owns the store. She's inside minding the register, or organizing the stock. The girl gazes at the window, then suddenly jolts, her eyes wide as if recalling something. Feel free to step in and browse our wares. And you're standing out here in the cold because... I'm signaling that the store is open, she nods eagerly. Otherwise, people might not know. They'd miss out on the crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. I should have a word with the store owner, maybe? Oh, no, sir. I'm happy to help Mom by luring in customers. She stands upright and smiles like a little soldier. Besides, I have some hot juice in my vacuum bottle to keep warm. Shouldn't you be at school or something? I do my studies at home at the moment. I have to help Mom keep this place running. Isn't school more important than this? Mom says it's necessary to do both because it builds character. Mom says a proper worker is dutiful. That's how you get ahead in life. You succeed. There is stress and unease behind these words. She's reciting etiquette. How's the business going? Mom says it's peachy. She was a little afraid at first. There's talk about this house being cursed. Behind her, the windows have been boarded up. You sense the boards creaking, twisting for a second, and some kind of doubt in her tense shoulders. Cursed in what way? Cursed in a way that makes them say that no business has ever really thrived here, sir. They all go... Look, she goes looking for the right word. Bankrupt. Ass up. I wouldn't really say it like that, but I guess so. This sounds rather serious. I should probably look into this. We can go into the bookstore and ask about the case, but I don't see much more to look into here. The lieutenant makes a note in his notebook. Yes, she chirps. Please do look at our wares inside. The postcards and board games you asked about are also there, sir. What do you know about the other failed businesses? Nothing, really, sir. Mom doesn't allow me to sneak around in the back rooms or the cellar. She looks a bit disappointed. I don't really know what's there. How does this curse manifest itself? It does not manifest itself in any way. It does not exist. I liked it better when we were talking about whether it was appropriate to stand out in the freezing weather. But Kim! The plasmic manifestations. No such thing. The lieutenant stands at your side, stern and serious. The girl looks back and forth between you two. Anything else you wanted to talk about? Enough about the curse. For now. Annette looks at your shaved, prickly chin. It distinctly contrasts with the oily mutton chops that surround it. Maybe I can tell you about some of our books instead. What is this crime business? Crime fiction is about murders or burglaries or things like that, and the work of a policeman or private detective who's trying to solve the crimes and catch the criminal. Wait, not crime fiction. I need to know what crime is. She doesn't know what to say. It's that bad. Point to your head. Crime is a deviation from the law punishable by either a civil or criminal sentencing. It's what the law prevents. Why would anyone want to read about crime? It's exciting to people, I guess. They get to imagine dangerous things, and it's kind of like a puzzle where you guess who the criminal is or how the good guys are going to catch him. I'm a policeman myself, by the way. The law, as I said. You don't look much like a policeman. She examines you, as if to find something policeman-like. Well, what does a cop look like, then? Didn't mean to offend. Sorry, sir. It's just that you don't look like Dick Mullen. She points to a book cover on which you see a strapping Vespertine officer. He stands grimly over the body of a dead woman. It's not about your body it's not your body that's important in police work anyway. It's your head. Yes. Not head, child. Heads. Flexibility. There are millions of different people out there, and you have to get into their heads. Sometimes you gotta be the killer to catch the killer. Isn't that very dangerous? She examines the picture of Dick Mullen. Policemen live and breathe danger, little girl. Mullen obviously lacks the chameleonic skill. Unlike you, sir, she smiles mischievously. He's just a fictional character. He's no match for you. Maybe you can show me some real police work, sir. The cover image of Dick Mullen seems to stare at you with harsh disapproval, like in the books. Okay, I'm going to deduce something right now. +1 for being afraid of the curse. Tight. The girl keeps her hands folded, hidden. Why is that? Hey. Why do you keep your hands folded? What do you mean, sir? She looks wary. You don't need to be worried. I'm here to help. She looks around anxiously. Her hands remain folded in front of her. She doesn't want to show them. The lieutenant stands by, looking at the two of you with little interest. It's okay. She brings out her reddened hands. Her nails are frayed, nearly chewed down to the flesh. You bite your nails. And you knew this from me keeping my hands folded? She shoots you a suspicious glance. Yes. There were a few other hints. Well, that proves nothing. Anyone could do an easy deduction like that. Her eyes flash with defiance. She's not impressed. You want one more? I bet I can figure out why you bite your nails. I got a few reasons in mind. She nods, half provocative, half enthusiastic. Rats have been nibbling on your fingers. Child labor in dismal working conditions. Recycling your body material is a good one. It's an intense dedication to the way of the business. There are no riches without personal sacrifice. You're uptight because of your mother and the pressure she's putting on you. Dismay flickers in her eyes. Maybe so, sir, she sighs. Okay, I know it's a bad habit and I shouldn't. That's okay. I bite my nails too. Either way, another ace deduction by the #1 detective in town. It's okay, sir. She's still got a rebellious streak. There's more that can be achieved here. Ask her to do the same. You think so? Fine. Do better. To do something about me. You're quite sober, she snaps back quickly. The lieutenant does not flinch at the comment. He does not flinch even a single bit. He is intensely not flinching. It takes effort. How do you know I'm usually not? Because you usually aren't. I am also sad, and my head hurts. I'm sorry, sir. She looks at you in the eye, sympathy gleaming in her face. I hope things get better soon. She stands there, swaying on her feet, assaulted by the spring breeze. She smiles at you. The whole situation suddenly feels familiar somehow. There's something you're missing. Knows the law. What are you missing here? Why does this feel familiar? You have absolutely no idea. Familiar how? You must have forgotten something in your head again. What is romance? It's the type of book where there's a rich lady and she has to choose between the good man and the bad man. She smiles at the thought, perhaps imagining herself in the situation. Or there could be a story about a poor lady getting a rich man. It's about man and lady business, sir. How about a poor man getting a rich lady? It happens, but usually the guy gets rich in the process, or should actually be rich himself, but has lost his family property unjustly, like during the Revolution or something. I see. Those are unhappy books for most of the pages. People sad about what they have lost, but then it all turns out just fine in the end. What about when both men are bad? These are not very common. You can't have a choice between bad and bad. Nobody wants to read a story about that. What if it's written really well? Well, maybe then it's fine. Maybe if the lady then decides not to pick either because she doesn't need a bad man. Yes, that would be interesting. What about when everyone is poor? It's not really a proper romance story. That's more like everyday life. Yeah, poor people are boring. I guess, yes. People in books are always very interesting, especially the romance people. What about a book where the man and lady business doesn't work out at all? I haven't read many of those. Maybe you should ask Mom. Maybe I will. That's enough romance. Who are these famous people? Oh, kings and queens and generals of old, or artists, or writers and musicians, those kinds of people. There's usually something extraordinary about them. She scratches her cold, reddened cheek, then continues, I think that's why people read them, to find the secrets of their fame. Seems like most people who read those books fail to get more famous from reading them. Reading doesn't make the readers more famous, does it? But it does make the famous people more famous, she smiles gleefully. Fame sounds delicious. Maybe someone will write a book about me one day. Why would they do that, sir? Because I'll be a superstar cop, in the papers and everything. That'll show them. That's so cool. Maybe they'll make you a book cover picture and everything, standing over a dead body, holding a gun. Okay, see you around, Annette. So we gotta go inside and talk to Annette's mother. Because we We gotta get this child in out of the fucking blizzard, which is going on outside right now, or is about to start at the very least. It's cold out there. Hello.
Welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People. My name is Plaisance.
I'm so glad she said her name. She also looks exactly like I imagined her to be.
Be welcome, and please take responsibility for the energy you bring into this space.
Before we go on, you seem to be well off enough. Can you give me some money? I feel there won't be an opportune moment to ask later.
Sir, don't be ridiculous. I certainly will not give you money. I would be doing you a grave psychic disfavor. One has to earn one's success, even if one is a police officer. Handouts are nothing but manipulation. All they do is make you dependent.
Certainly there are good things to be said about dependence. I am a powerful feudal lord. I demand tribute. It would forge ties between us working people. Good practice for fighting our common
Now,
enemy.
hey there. Sounds like someone isn't taking responsibility for the energy they bring into this space. Fighting? Enemy? My philosophy is everyone just getting along.
So are you the owner of the store?
The proudest owner of our little shop of culture.
Your daughter is the one standing outside the store, right? Annette, yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off again with her nose in science fiction. Tell me, was she at her post doing her job like a good little girl? Yes, of course. Wonderful. Did you talk to her? Yes. Great. On a scale of 1 to 10, how compelled were you to buy books after talking with her? I'm not going to grade a human being. I don't do that. Come now, it's not personal. It's about proper sales practices and market research. I expect an answer. 10. She's certainly very polite and helpful. My precious, her dedication brings joy to my heart. She's immensely satisfied with the answer. If you have children, I hope they turn out as great as Annette. The way you're handling her strikes me as wrong. Mind your own business, sir. Her posture becomes very rigid. In our society, people don't get to tell each other how to raise their children. It's none of your or anyone's business. Denial is the way she copes with criticism. All this pressure has made her really anxious. You know she's been chewing her nails? God, I've told her not to do that. It's disgusting, and I told you to mind your own business. Her voice is firm. Clearly, you have no idea how hard it is to raise a girl in this economy. This economy is a mysterious force, like cosmic weather. Mysterious and harsh. I don't think she can do anything about it. She can if she has enough willpower. This is what's called growing pains. Life isn't easy. Life doesn't give breaks. Come on, ma'am. It's obvious she can't do anything about it. You're placing an unnecessary burden on a young child. What you're doing is wrong. Even I know that. And I usually don't know anything. She stands stiff and severe, silently fuming. 10 or so seconds pass without change. She's looking for one, but there isn't really any good argument for being an asshole. All of a sudden, she exhales sharply, her shoulders slump down. Oh no, hold on, I need to invite her inside and apologize. She must be freezing out there. There, she returns with a nod. I don't know what to say to you. My husband, he tries to teach me business lessons. I have what my mother called a dull mind. All this stress, she stops, but her mouth keeps moving. Is this, husband Annette's father? Yes, my husband is a very successful entrepreneur east of the river. If only he were more involved in the business we're running up here, she says gloomily. No matter, soon we'll both be off to Grand Corin. What's that? It's a proper place to live, one of the most peaceful neighborhoods east of Jamrock. You know it for its massive housing projects. Most of the buildings are empty at the moment. Her smile is wide. It's a great opportunity to get ahead of the crowds. Better times ahead, for sure. And your husband's also involved with the bookstore? He made the initial investment, since he's been what you might call a silent partner. Super silent, almost inaudibly so. Is she an only child? Yes, I'm afraid so. A real treat she is. It would be nice if she had. She pauses for a second. No, we couldn't have afforded more children, really, not in this economy. A glimmer of sadness blinks through the well-crafted exterior. Why not? We're quite busy people, you know, my husband and I, quite busy. Her voice wavers a bit. Children are a lot of work. You don't look like a father, so I don't expect you to understand. She catches herself at his impoliteness. I'm sorry, I'm sure you do understand. She told me she doesn't go to school anymore. I've forgotten how her name was pronounced. Plaisance nods. She's been too busy helping me here, so she studied at home this trimester? I'm stupid. This is a temporary solution, of course. I assure you, I of all people understand the importance of education. She will be back in school the moment the store takes off. And hell freezes over? Never mind, it's not a good topic to get into. Alright, I had something else in mind. The woman looks aloof, her features much softer. Occasionally she glances at her daughter's silhouette. What if I want to buy a book? Then why are you talking to me? Everything on the shelves to browse. Don't you feel compelled to buy anything? She fiddles with her pendant, then waves her bony fingers directly at you. See those shelves there? Go, be drawn. So what type of books do you have? Everything. See, this is why your business is doing badly. Madam, what if I wanted to buy a book? Well, go and look at the damn shelves. Rather than, well, what kind of interests do you have, sir? Hey, psst. Hey, you. Who, me? Yes, you. Word on the street is you're ready to start building communism again. How come there's word on the street? You keep saying things like down with the bourgeoisie, eat the rich, sodomize the landowners, impale all the people who have more than 25 real in their pocket, literally murder all human beings regardless of their political beliefs. That kind of stuff. I've said some mildly left-wing things, but none of those. Oh yes, the mask of ambivalence. Don't deny it. You're about to rip it off and reveal the monstrous seven-eyed lamb of global communism that will devour and masticate mankind. Everyone can see that, so tell me. Do you have any questions before we fire up the big communism builder, or do we get right down to it? What's communism? Failure. It's about failure. Failure? Yes, abject failure. Total irreversible defeat on all fronts. Absolutely vanquished, beaten, curb-stomped, and pissed on until you came along. You will reverse the fortune of the workers of the world. You alone against every living thing, against every human alive, 800 trillion real in the hands of an impossibly well-organized ruling class, towering city blocks of bankmen who have the ears of prime ministers, million-headed armies of nations, and the love of your own mother. You against the atom, the charm and the spin, where the whole world failed. Matter failed to bend to human will. Human will failed to get out of bed and tie its laces. You, alone, single-handedly, will rebuild the dreams of the working class. You are the last communist. Now get to work, comrade. Roll up your sleeves and start building communism, comrade. Oh yeah, get the firing squads and the animal wagons ready. Wait, what? Firing squads? You didn't say anything about those. Too late to back out now. You can't make an omelet with bacon without breaking a few million eggs. Roll up your sleeves further and breathe in the pristine air. Alright, so let's consult that thought real quick. People think communism was some crazy idea that had its comeuppance 40 years ago, a fever that shook the world, never to return again. They were right up until he woke up today. A spiritual corpse responsive only to the call of Commodore Red, prostitutes, and Krauss-Mazov. For him, communism is still a thing. He will single-handedly rise the commune of O2 from the oceanic trench, where it has been resting, covered in ghosts and seaweed. He is the big communism builder. Come witness his attempt to rebuild communism in the year 51. Temporary research bonus -2 visual calculus. Looks like reaction. I don't like that. What's the fuck's this one about again? Right, this was further, further down that route. Yeah. Well, but what we actually have to do, though, is level up savoir-faire so we can try and break into the fucking place again, which we'll go and do right now. We'll come back and consult the books another time, but first I'm going to look at this button above the woman, or above the girl. Old sports magazines. Alright, we're gonna go break into that dock this time. 3rd time's the charm.